Hi, this is Remembering the Past, the show where we talk about people who've died recently who've had a profound effect on our history, our society, or our culture. By way of introduction of our subject tonight, we're going to start with this.
What is that, a handkerchief?
Nothing. It's nothing.
If it's nothing, why can't I see it?
My blanket, my blue blanket. Give me my blue blanket.
Well, the owner of that blue blanket was Jerome Silberman, a.k.a. Gene Wilder, who died recently at the age of 83, one of the great comedians in movie history. Mel Brooks had to feed him a lot of candy bars and coffee to get that take, by the way. This was another one of those that hit me hard because Gene Wilder could hold his own on the screen with just about anyone, and anyone included Zero Mostel, Woody Allen, Richard Pryor, Marty Feldman, Mel Brooks, Jill Clayburgh, Madeline Kahn, Terry Garr, or Cloris Leachman. He did a wonderful comic term playing just off-center comic heroes, as good as anybody ever on the screen. Gene Wilder was a nice Jewish boy from Milwaukee. He went to the University of Iowa. He was there for a couple of years, the same time as Alex Karras, one of his co-stars in Blazing Saddles, whose podcast we've done. He gravitated towards the theater. He was in the Actors Studio, which we've talked about before, for a little while. And in the early 60s, he was in a performance of Brecht's Mother Courage with Anne Bancroft. And every night, Anne Bancroft's boyfriend would come and pick her up, and he ran into Gene Wilder. That boyfriend was, of course, Mel Brooks, and it started one of the great comic teams in movie history. He got his stage name from a character in Thomas Wolfe's Look Homeward Angel named Gene, and his last name Wilder from Thornton Wilder and Jerome Silberman became Gene Wilder. Actually, his first movie performance wasn't strictly a comedy. He got a brief performance in one of the great American movies ever. Warren Beatty put him in Bonnie and Clyde. He plays an undertaker who's carjacked along with his girlfriend by Bonnie and Clyde, and he finds out that his girlfriend has lied to him about her age as they ride in the car with Estelle Parsons, Gene Hackman, Faye Dunaway, and Warren Beatty.
I'm from Wisconsin originally, where the cheese comes from.
Oh, but he just loves Texas now. Don't you, Jim?
Don't sell that cow.
Hey, how old are you, honey? I'm 33.
Bonnie gets sick of them and dumps him out of the car a little while later. But Gene Wilder's career is comedy, and we're going to review some of his greatest comic turns. We have to start with his Mel Brooks comedies. And look, I'm going to be candid with you. I know a lot of people like Young Frankenstein or Blazing Saddles best, but the greatest Mel Brooks comedy ever, in fact, possibly the greatest comic movie ever, was the 1968 Producers. The concept is great, the script is great, and every actor in it is great, and that includes Gene Wilder as Leo Bloom, named after a character of James Joyce. He plays a neurotic accountant, and he's just great with Zero Mostel, and here he goes into a crazy fit.
Will you get hold of yourself? Don't touch me! Don't touch me! I'm hysterical. I'm having hysterics. I'm hysterical. I can't stop when I get like this. I can't stop. I'm hysterical. I'm wet. I'm wet. I'm hysterical and I'm wet. I'm in pain. And I'm wet. And I'm still hysterical. No, don't hit it. Don't hit it. It doesn't help. It only increases my sense of danger. What can I do? What can I do? You're getting me hysterical. Go away. Go away. You frighten me. Sit over there. Okay. Come over here. This better? That's better. But you still look angry. How's this? Good. That's good.
If you've never seen The Producers, that's a movie you have to check out. Now, there's a lot of people who think that the best Mel Brooks comedy is Blazing Saddles. I saw it recently with Mel Brooks giving commentary. It is awfully good. It's politically incorrect. You couldn't make it today. And Gene Wilder is the WACO Kid. Originally, they had Gig Young scheduled for the alcoholic gunfighter, but he got on the set and he went into DT, so they had to get somebody else, and Gene Wilder was working with Mel Brooks, and he said, I can do it. He does this scene with Clyde Little, who does a great job as the African-American sheriff. Originally, he was supposed to be Richard Pryor, but Richard had his own health problems, and they couldn't get insurance for him, so he was just a script consultant. Clyde Little and Gene Wilder are superb in this scene.
A man drink like that and he don't eat. He is going to die.
When?
What's your name?
Well, my name is Jim, but most people call me Jim. Well, you must pry.
I must.
I don't know if you ever heard of me before, but I used to be called the WACO Kid.
The WACO Kid. He had the fastest hands in the West.
In the world.
Well, if you're the kid, then show me something.
Oh, well, maybe a couple of years ago I could have shown you something, but today, look at that.
Steady as a rock.
Yeah, but I shoot with this hand.
See, I knew you wasn't no WACO kid. You was just pulling my lariat. Well, raise my rent. You are the kid.
Was. Yeah, I was the kid.
Well, what happened?
Oh, well, it got so that every pissant prairie punk who thought he could shoot a gun would ride into town to try out the WACO kid. I must have killed more men than Cecil B. DeMille. Got pretty gritty. I started to hear the word draw in my sleep. And one day, I was just walking down the street, and I heard a voice behind me say, "Reach for it, mister." I spun around, and there I was, face to face with a 6-year-old kid. Well, I just threw my guns down and walked away. Little bastard shot me in the ass. So I limped to the nearest saloon, crawled inside a whiskey bottle, and I've been there ever since.
Have a drink.
Thanks. Anyway, that's all ancient history.
And there is also a school of thought that Mel Brooks' best comedy movie and Gene Wilder's greatest performance was in Young Frankenstein. Here, Gene Wilder plays Frederick Frankenstein, Frankenstein, and at the train station he meets Marty Feldman, who plays Igor, Igor.
Dr. Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
You're putting me on.
No, it's pronounced Frankenstein.
Do you also say Frederick?
No, Frederick.
Well, why isn't it Frederick Frankenstein?
It isn't. It's Frederick Frankenstein.
I see.
You must be Igor.
No, it's pronounced Igor.
But they told me it was Igor.
Well, they were wrong then, weren't they?
You were sent by Herr Falkstein, weren't you?
Yes. My grandfather used to work for your grandfather.
Oh, nice.
Of course, the rates have gone up.
Of course. Of course. I'm sure we'll get along splendidly. Oh, sorry. I don't mean to embarrass you, but I'm a rather brilliant surgeon. Perhaps I could help you with that hump.
What hump?
That's quite a Mel Brooks trilogy there, the producers, Blazing Saddles, and Young Frankenstein. And if Gene Wilder had never done anything else, he'd be regarded as a great screen comedian just for them. But he also teamed with Richard Pryor, and they became perhaps the greatest black and white film duo in comedy history. They were initially paired up in Silver Streak, which was directed by Arthur Hiller, whose podcast we just did a couple of weeks ago, and their chemistry on screen was obvious. Here's a scene where Richard Pryor has to sneak Gene Wilder on the train by making him look and act black.
I can't pass for black. Who you telling? I didn't say I was going to make you black. I said I was going to get you on the train. Now we got to make them cops think you're black. It'll never work. Never. What, are you afraid it won't come off? Oh, that's a good joke. That's humorous. I get it. May I speak? This is crazy. It'll never work. Don't you understand? Are you kidding? Look at that. Al Jolson made $1 million looking like that. Now here, you try it. That's bad. You're looking good. Now here, take this radio. When you step out here, shit, right? You bad. I put that radio to your ear. That's gonna help cover your face, right? Just move with the rhythm of the music. Move your body with the rhythm of the music. That's all you gotta remember, okay? Let me see you try it. Step to the music. Step to the music. Yeah. Step to the music. Stop. How come your whitey's got such a tight ass, man? How you gonna walk out of here with a tan face that white woman? Just get into the music. Come on, George. Come on. Loosen up. Listen to the beat. Let your feet move. Now do it. Can't you feel it? The temple's right here. Right in there. That's all you gotta do. Yeah, now try it. Don't you feel it? Needs work, George. Needs a lot of work. You know that. When you practice, man, you gotta practice, but let it be loose. Listen to the music, follow the beat. Hear it? Feel it coming up? Feel it? It's coming? Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna get the ticket. Come on, man. Get some jive going. Be cool. Shake it, but don't break it. Hey, man. How do I look? You look sharp. I feel sharp. You hear? I feel like putting on this. You did. Honest, get down. Get down. Feeling good. Feeling fine. Feeling real fine. Hey, just listen to those hips, sugar. All you white men, hi there. Yeah, get that ass moving there. Out in fact, I'm a macaroni. Get down. I'm in heat. Number one, baby.
Yeah, and Gene Wilder gets on that train. Here they are together in Stir Crazy after they're sentenced by a judge.
I hereby sentence you to serve 125 years in the custody of the Commissioner of the Department of Corrections.
Wait, no, wait. No, sit. You know, we didn't do it. There's a misunderstanding.
That's
We
right.
didn't do it.
We didn't.
I didn't. Our lawyer
I
told
did.
us to come up. He's joking. He means
I
we
told
didn't
him.
do it.
See,
we didn't do it.
Have you got the right case?
This is Monroe and Donahue.
Harry Monroe. Harry Monroe. Look under there. Look
Sir.
under that. In black, tall,
Sir, we
blonde,
didn't.
black man.
How much does that mean in actual time?
30 years, Tom.
I don't want to be a dead old man. I don't
30
want to do
years.
125 years. I don't want to do what? I don't even want to do 100. I can't. I'll kill this motherfucker.
Like I say, I think Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder are the best black-white film comedy duo in history. Gene Wilder also did a couple of great solo comic turns in the movies. Here he's in a movie called The Frisco Kid, where he gets top billing over Harrison Ford. He plays a 19th century frontier rabbi, and he's having an epistemologic debate with an Indian chief played by Val Bisolio.
Wonderful and nice dancing.
Nice does not make rain. Yes or no? Can your God make rain?
Yes,
But he doesn't.
that's right.
Why?
Because that's not his department.
But if he wanted to, he could.
Yes.
What kind of a God do you have?
Don't say my God. He's your God too.
Don't give him to us. We have enough troubles with our own God.
But there's only one God.
What does he do?
He can do anything.
Then why can't he make rain?
Because he doesn't make rain. He gives us strength when we're suffering. He gives us compassion when all that we feel is hatred. He gives us courage when we're searching around blindly like little mice in the darkness. But he does not make rain. Of course, sometimes just like that, he'll change his mind.
That's good stuff. And the amazing thing is we haven't even talked about the role that many people think was his greatest. A lot of people will remember Gene Wilder best for his role as Willy Wonka in the eponymous 1971 movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, a sort of a half-comic, half-serious take on the Roald Dahl story.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in the world of my creation. What we'll see will defy explanation.
There's plenty more I could talk about with Gene Wilder, but I just don't have the time. He had good comic roles in a number of other movies. He had a storybook, show business, romance, and marriage to Gilda Radner of Saturday Night Live until she died tragically. He was an excellent writer. He wrote one of the better show business autobiographies. He was a wonderful painter. I think he painted in acrylics. And by all accounts, he was a very, very nice guy. He was especially close friends with Mel Brooks and Charles Grodin. He was a mensch, as they say. He also had one of my favorite show business quotes. Robert Osborne asked him why he didn't make movies anymore. He says, "Oh, I still love movies. It's movie making I don't like." I'm going to close on that note. I want to thank my producer and IT genius, Sid Tepps. There's a lot of music we could have closed with Gene Wilder. We could have used some of that music from Willy Wonka. Could have used a little of that Count Basie music from Blazing Saddles. Or we could have used the famous turn he did with Peter Boyle putting on the Ritz in Young Frankenstein. In tribute to Gene Wilder, I decided to close with my favorite of all, the greatest music parody of all time in movies, from the producer Springtime for Hitler, as Gene Wilder kisses Zero Mostel at the back of the theater for producing such a brilliant flop.
Springtime for Hitler and Germany. Deutschland is happy and gay. We're marching to a faster pace. Look out, here comes the master race. Springtime for Hitler and Germany.
To make people laugh, that's a beautiful thing. That's like painting flowers. When people come up to me on the street and say, "I was so sad. I had such a hard day," and then we went to see whichever the movie was, Young Frankenstein or Silver Streak or Stir Crazy, and you made me laugh and I forgot my troubles. That's creating beauty.